Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. And it has an output of 1.2 gigahertz. And also, to find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage. There you'll find the exact frequencies we transmit on and receive. Also a little history about the club. And also you'll find a link on our front page that takes you to YouTube, where we stream our net show Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our voice transmissions. Also, it's important to note, use a tone of 103.5. That's use a tone of 103.5 for this now. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. This is Dave, KD7CYM. Hearing none, again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. So far checked in by video link is Ron, KD7QKU, Bob, K9PQ, Wade, W7ITL, and myself, Dave, KD7CYM. Is there anybody else that would like to check in? Hearing none, let's start with Ron, KD7QKU.
Break.
Break, go ahead.
Sorry, I think I doubled with you. Wait, can you switch over the repeater video? James usually does it, and it's not done yet tonight. Thanks, K9PQ, back to net.
Back to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. Good evening to the group. This is Ron, KD7QKU. I've had a kind of a busy last couple of days. The big deal that's been going on is a neighbor lady. You know, her husband passed away. He needed a kidney transplant, and he never got it. They have a wheelchair van, and she hasn't been driving it. A long time ago, a year or so ago, we fixed it up. I gave her a battery maintainer, and then her brother was here, and he wired it in permanently to the battery, and all she had to do was plug it into an extension cord, and then she would, you know, be able to maintain the battery. Well, she hasn't done that, so the van's been sitting there for a couple of months, and it wouldn't start. And that creates when the battery goes dead, it creates a really big problem. She only has the key fob. She doesn't have a key for it, so she can't open the door. And we need the door open to get the hood up. So I was able to put the trickle charger on it, and I was hoping that would put enough juice in the battery that I had to fish the extension cord out with a wire. I finally found it. Her brother had done it, and she had to call him. He lives in Oregon, and find out where the cord was. And I found it just by chance with a piece of wire and a flashlight. So we got it plugged in and let it set last night, and it didn't charge the battery up enough to unlock the door. So when she got the van was given to her by the military, I think. some military organization. It was, it was really a nice Chrysler van, wheelchair van, a newer one. And the key was missing out of the fob. Most fobs have a key in it. And if something like that happens, you can take the key out and unlock the door. Well, she didn't have the key, so I told her she was probably going to have to call a locksmith or we'd have to break a window. I mean, I didn't know how else to get in. So she was smarter than me, so she went down to the dealer and I think maybe if you take the VIN number, or anyway, she got a key for it and brought it home and locked the door. And so I saw her that she was home, and I opened the garage door and looked out where the hood was up and the door was open. So went over then and put a big battery charger on instead of a trickle charger. So I'm hoping the battery will come up. I told her we need to leave it on all night, so maybe tomorrow she can start it. So that was my big deal. Back to net, KD7QKU.
7QKU, thanks for that. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ in Bothell.
Hey, well, that's an interesting story, Ron. You reminded me of a story I just read. I found a place where people complain about their Tesla truck, and one of them was just hilarious, where they had some kind of electrical problem, and they had to try and get at the battery. And I don't know if they have a separate, like, 12-volt auxiliary battery. A lot of the electric cars do, but at any rate, they had to get at a battery, but they couldn't because the hood, or frunk as they call it, the front trunk of the Tesla truck is electric open only. So they couldn't get at the battery to fix it. So there have been a lot of problems. Now, of course, this place I went, these were all people complaining, so who knows how many, what percentage that is, but it sounds like there are a lot of complaints about this truck. It's the funniest ones are the ones where people try to treat it like an actual pickup truck, and go out on some kind of rough terrain, and then it just breaks immediately. So it's really not meant for that. I guess that'll do for starters. I'll set it back and have more to say the next time around. This is K9PQ.
PQ, thanks for that. Let's go to Wade, W7ATS.
Yeah, this is W7ATS, and I don't have video tonight. Oh, maybe I do. Here we go. Yeah, so I've been experimenting today. I pulled out this old military antenna that I got from the Radio Club of Tacoma and started playing with it and tuning it, and I went and bought a 10-foot 1.5-inch PVC pipe. I was looking for the 80 schedule, which they were all out. Checked Lowe's too, so I had to get the 40 schedule, so it's pretty flexible. So I'm not going to leave it up very long. I'm probably going to take it down tonight because I don't want it snapping into the wind. Yeah, I got it to tune up from 20 to 6 meters. Anything below that, it just will not. My radio will not tune it. And I don't know if you guys heard, but I did make a few contacts on it. I think I got into New Zealand, and I got some Bahamas stations. One of those Caribbean stations, not Bahamas, but Caribbean. I don't know which country it was, but I got that on either 10 or 12. So that was pretty fun. And besides that, I've been kind of trying to figure out how to get this digital stuff to work for our ATV nets. Running into some snags on the serial port to get it programmed. So I'm working with the vendor right now to see if I can get a new cable, or maybe troubleshoot the serial cable and see if it's maybe just got a bad solder joint, or maybe the wires messed up inside internally. Besides that, we went out to the dinner tonight, and we went to the Shack restaurant, Big Chicken. It's a chicken restaurant, of course, and had the chicken cordon bleu and some fries, and they had this kind of specialty soda. They had a cream, pineapple cream soda, and that was really good. And we went home and started watching some movies. And Oh yeah, last night I went and saw the new Alien Romulus movie. That was really cool. Really well done. Pretty gory. Of course, it is an alien movie. So yeah, that's about it. We'll let you guys take back the net. This is Whiskey 7, India Tango Lima, back to net.
Thanks for that. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. And again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, in Lake City. Got 64 degrees, cloudy outside, but not raining at this point, even though the weather said it's supposed to get a little damp this evening. But today I went to Goodwill, and I had a trunkload of stuff to donate. Got that away. It was kind of interesting. After last week, taking the 300-pound CRT television off my hands, I was surprised. They took everything I had, but I had two maps that were roll-up maps for wall mount, one of the U.S. and one of the world. But they didn't want to take that, believe it or not, but they took everything else. I was rather confused over that, because with school starting, this would have been a good item for a teacher or school supplies, but so much for that. And that's about it. So with that, I came home. I went up to Costco and got some grubs and some food. And I was surprised there wasn't a lot of people in Costco today. I don't know why, but I guess it was a little late in the week for people starting out or something. But I always like it when you can go in and there's no line for the checkout. You can just go up to the counter and unload your cart, show your card, make your transaction, and get out of there. But I did stop and have one of their hot dogs and drinks. It's one of the pleasures of being a member of Costco is to get that. Oh yes, and I did get the chicken. You got to have the chicken when you go to Costco. That's a fringe benefit. So that was about what's happening with my life today. So let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
7QKU here. Well, man, Costco over here in Tacoma, the parking lot's always full. I've never been there when it wasn't really busy. Bob, you were talking about Tesla trucks. Someplace on the internet, I saw a Tesla truck with a machine gun mounted in the back of it. I think it was in Ukraine or Russia or someplace. I don't know, some country anyway. Terrorist group or something. They had a Tesla truck with a machine gun in the back of it. So I don't know. I wouldn't think that stainless steel would be very bulletproof, but maybe they thought it was. Oh yeah, and Wade, you were saying you put that antenna on a PVC pipe. I was kind of surprised. I would think that antenna would need to be grounded, and you're shaking your head and you're saying no. So yeah, so I don't know what kind of an antenna it is. It must be I can't say the name of it. It covers all those frequencies. Shoot, I don't know. I can't say what it is. But anyway, yeah, I was surprised that you put it up on PVC pipe. I would think. I always try to ground my antennas or my pipes. They set them on the ground or something. Well, yeah, we did something. I've heard some terrible stories on the ham radio lately about people in their credit. I can't say what I want to say. Shoot. Anyway, all their information being stolen and people using it. It just sounds awful. And the banks don't want to. A lot of the banks now, I guess, it's so common. They don't want to replace it. I mean, it's your problem. They didn't cause it or anything. The banks are saying, like, if you came in and got some money, put it in your pocket, and walked outside and got robbed, we wouldn't be responsible to replace it. And so that's kind of what happens is you're being robbed, I guess, and they don't think they should replace it anyway. I've heard some horror stories, so I sent a text message to Wade and asked him where we should go, and he named 3 places, and so Joanne went there and she put a credit freeze on. I understand if you lose the password, you're SOL. You probably have to get a lawyer to try to unfreeze it, so I don't know. And I don't know what all it freezes, I'm afraid. I still hope that we have access to a few things, so I don't know. Find out, I guess. So far, so good. But that's kind of what I did. Back to net, KD7QKU.
QKU, thanks for that, Ron. Let's go to Bob and Bottle, K9PQ.
Okay, well, this is a slow news day, so I'm going to report, for me, a slow news week for me. But my brother, who had just come to visit, I'm not a coffee drinker, and so he had just come to visit, and he got some, some instant coffee, which he wasn't that crazy about. So he bought me a Keurig single-serve coffee maker. So unlike the bigger Keurigs where you put water in, I don't know if they actually have any that connect up to a water source, but most of them you fill a whole bunch of water into it, and then it makes multiple cups. This one will just do 1 cup. You take and fill your coffee cup, pour that into a reservoir, and then put the K-cup in and coffee cup under, and you get 1 cup out of it. And so each time you make a cup of coffee, you got to refill the water back in. But it works great. I just did a test of it. I haven't actually made anything. I meant to get some tea. I'm not a coffee drinker, as I mentioned, but you can get tea, I've heard, in those K-cups. And so I don't think I'm going to switch over to drinking tea from K-cups, but at least that's a way for me to test it out and see how well it works. But the water comes out hot, and they're really well made. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. You never know with things you buy these days, what kind of quality of construction they are. But even for something that was just their smallest, cheapest model, it was very, very well made. And so I'm very happy with it. I'd recommend it to anybody that has a need for something like that to just do a cup at a time. Okay, send it back, K9PQ.
Let's go to Wade, W7ATS in Tacoma.
Not too much more for me to say. It's going to be a short net for me. It's pretty low crowd here tonight, and didn't really plan on making a bunch of check-ins. But it's just been a good night with the family, and sounds like Dave has been having a lot of fun with his new TV, and he got rid of the 300-pound TV, and it sounds like, it sounds really good. But I'll turn it back to Ned. This is W7ITL.
Thanks for that. And this is Dave, KD7CYM. And speaking of new TV, boy, I certainly have been enjoying this LED set. The clarity is just beyond. Of course, I'm comparing it to a 24-year-old tube-type television. So there's been a lot of improvement in the last few years for HD TVs, and boy, it's very exciting to see the clarity and the color. And also, I've been noticing a lot of the stuff is really being shot for the big screen, because the detail on the sides has always been there, but you haven't been able to see it if you were watching it on a smaller set. So it's to the advantage for the consumer to have a larger set now these days to see what's out there. It's being created with the video from the different agencies and facilities that transmit on public TV. So that's about it from Dave, and I also running out of things, so I don't know, I'll just thumbs up. Do you want to go another round or pull the plug? May it rest in peace. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, NET. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our voice transmissions. And at this point, we're going to terminate the net early this evening at 8:20. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Good evening, all.